Alec, I'd like to welcome you to my little Mayan empire.
Your little Mayan empire.
My little Mayan empire, I like to call Guatemala, Survivor Guatemala. It's
Okay.
the 11th season of Survivor. We're here.
That's a long title.
Mm-hmm.
That what you like to call it? Survivor.
My little Mayan empire.
My Survivor. My little Mayan empire.
The
MLM.
11th season.
Okay. MLM Empire.
If you're just joining us,
multi-level. Your multi-level marketing.
if you're just joining us now, we've covered every season of Survivor up until Survivor Guatemala.
Yeah.
Together, as I've been taking my friend Alec on a journey through Survivor chronologically ever since the first season up until now. All right. Previously on Survivor Guatemala, Blake got voted out after a couple of big missteps in how he communicated with his tribe mates. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just don't understand social cues like that. You know?
No, not really. It's the fact that no one was seemingly in the clips that we saw. No one was really like egging him on. People seemed very physically uncomfortable.
Apparently, Brian would bait him. He did say he called Blake baiting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, good for him. It worked really well in his advantage, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Golden boy.
So I mean that's the biggest takeaway. There was a lot of Blake in that tribe. I mean, there was a little bit of conflict from Judd and Cindy and the other tribe, telling her to step up after Jamie blew that competition really badly. One of the biggest blowouts that we've seen in a while.
It was pretty rough. It wasn't even remotely close. Coach Jamie was like, "It's like, no, we can win." Like after like a minute and a half.
You guys
after
gonna give
won,
up on now?
He's like, "We're gonna give up now." It's like, bro, we lost. Like, it's not even worth expending energy for.
It's like that thing. I feel like he's trying to spin it to where it's like, well, at least I never gave up. You guys gave up. You know, it's like I may have been the one who single-handedly cost us the challenge, but I never gave up.
Yeah.
So
participation award.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're, as always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of a reaction and then come back afterwards for the discussion, okay?
Do it up.
Alright, there you have it. Episode 6 of Survivor Guatemala.
Yeah.
I thought that was an excellent episode, honestly.
In the books, that is honestly, that's a Survivor star episode for me. That's a good one. That was the best episode easily of the season. I'd say that goes all-time classic for me. That was a great episode.
Yeah, good outcomes like of the double tribal. This worked out well, where there was interesting stuff on both parts. Obviously, one of the most heated tribal councils we've ever seen. Probably the most heated tribal, right? I mean, you don't
easily.
No one gets riled up like that, and he was standing up and.
He stand up. He was interrupting Jeff, and Jeff was just letting him go off. You know. He
did a great poll where he was like, "Do I listen to you?" And Cindy's like, "Yeah, well, okay, good. Do I listen to you?" And she's like, "Oh, well, you just."
I love how Rafe was like, well, you know, I think that like kind of.
Jamie's like, just give an answer, man. Just.
He's like, well, this is my answer. And then he's like, okay, well, yes, but I just want to. And he's like, all right, great. No, Stephanie.
Yeah. Because he ironically does not fully listen to them, and when he asked them that.
This is so good. Yeah, that was just one of the wildest like tribal councils ever. It was like I could feel like I was Rafe for that. Like I would have been just like so uncomfortable with this guy just like up there just screaming basically. It's just like I don't even know what he's trying to prove exactly. He's just getting upset about almost nothing.
Yep.
At this point, and it was sort of like I was kind of like.
I think Margaret handled it really well. And it's like we take for granted that obviously it's a much more entertaining outcome that we got here, but to her it's like her whole game ended because then this guy was like throwing a tantrum here, and she still got voted out over him.
You're throwing a tantrum over. I don't like. I mean, I get it. She's like being really negative and kind of sourpuss about everything, more or less. But like she held her composure super well in the tribal because she's just letting him sound off because he's really digging his own grave by doing that.
Just imagine the fact that her whole game, it's like she got put in that position because of this guy.
Yeah.
It was because this guy turned on her, and now this guy's berating her before she's about to be voted out, and it's like
she should have done more, you know.
But it's a rough spot to be in there.
She should have tried harder to convince people that he was volatile and they shouldn't trust him, or something. But she didn't seem to do much. I don't know if social game was her best statistic. I don't know what was her best statistic, honestly. Who knows? Doesn't matter anymore. So she's out.
And then we should say they did have the big ball pushing challenge.
Ball pushing.
They pushed it back and forth, and then that's why Amy got injured. And then that was at the center of a potential reason to vote her out in this episode.
Sure.
But ultimately, they ended up voting out Brian here.
And kind of a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah. The fact that everyone was just like jumped on board with that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Gary kind of showed his hand in the beginning where he was like, well, as long as it's not a tie. So he basically just wanted a guarantee.
Yeah.
And I guess the best guarantee was to go with Brian. He didn't want to face the tie shenanigans, but...
Yeah.
And then I guess, Brian let on a little that he knows the game too well. That's probably not a good look either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because that's like literally what everyone was saying. It's like, oh yeah, he knows the game. Survivor. He's a pro basically, and it's like, yeah, well, that's the pity of it, you know.
And Rafe could have tried to disrupt something if he wanted to, but I think he probably gave Gary immunity just so he wouldn't interfere, maybe, and then they wouldn't be mad at him like if they interact later.
Yeah, because he didn't seem like he was a target for anybody for anything. So. Yeah.
If anything, I thought he would save Amy just so like.
Yeah, because she's like hurt.
Potentially the weakest link.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so that was an interesting outcome too. And you had in the beginning where Brandon was asking Bobby John, "Do you have any regrets about the vote last time with Blake?" And Bobby John got his like typical response where he's like, "Yeah, well, I do have some regrets, but it was at a stage of the game where I had to make that kind of decision, you know." And she was rubbing other people the wrong way.
It was like one of the greatest speeches ever made by a human.
Yeah.
Like he just and the music in the background was the best. It was the best thing. It was like this sort of low. Drone, and it was like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Brandon got over it. They're all seemingly on the same page again here.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I don't know, it'll be really interesting to see how things go from here, though.
I'm really curious about the Jamie Bobby John dynamic. There's some sexual tension there.
Sexual tension is palpable.
Yeah, it's pretty palpable. So yeah, definitely.
Every challenge, one of them is yelling something at least, if not both of them, and now they're all chest to chest up on each other.
Yeah, I know, they're
bucking up like the bears they are.
They're like the deer, you know. They're antlering, you know.
Like the freaking the bears, so they come up on each other like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
yeah,
Bobby John said Jamie crossed the line, so I had to put him in his place. You know?
Yeah, Wolf versus. I know, I love that. I was like, what are you talking about?
He crossed the line. He freaking.
He's celebrating. He was winning, dude. Like that's crossing the line. Yeah.
We don't celebrate like that down in the South. You gotta understand.
That's right. Down in my part of the South. Yeah, that's So it's so odd. It's so weird.
This season is dripping with southern
sexual attention.
Southern sexual attention. Brian's got to vote out all the men so he can resist the urge, or Bobby John's got to vote out all the men so he can resist these urges.
I know, it's like. Well, he
yelled, "Touch my leg," like that.
Touch my leg. I don't know what he said. I do not know what he said. It sounded like "touch my leg." I don't know what it was, but I think Stephanie did call him gay in the last episode. I think so.
Stephanie drops a lot of words. She just casually.
Well, hey. In like mid 2000s, those were socially acceptable things to say.
I guess, but I like the fact that like Judd's clearly throwing a temper tantrum and clearly being childish in the tribal council, but the others have to defend him just because, like, you know, they're in an alliance, so they're like, oh yeah, you hear us. Yeah. And Stephanie's like, I think he's a lot like me. He's a lot like me. Yeah. He's what did she say?
He's like gets fired up. Or
short fuse.
Short fuse. So he gets really. gets really fired
What,
up.
high
He's looking
strung.
here. High strung, yeah.
High strung. That's a nice way of putting it. It's not.
Yeah.
I've never seen Stephanie freaking have such an outburst, so I don't think it's exactly like you, Stephanie. Jeff literally said I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, Jeff is like, what the heck's going on? You know, it's like, yeah. Yeah, Jeff was even like on his back. Basically, I put on his heels here. You know, it's just like he couldn't even contain Judd.
He should have gotten up to John and started bucking at him.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yelling in his face.
Yelling in his face.
You sit down. You sit down.
Judd would have screamed right back, been like,
you know what? You get out of here.
I'm a good sportsmanship. You know,
Yeah. I don't think I'm a bad sportsmanship. You haven't even played a damn sport in your life. You know what?
Yeah. You
That's
know what? Yeah,
is.
you haven't played a damn sport in your life, lady.
You don't know anything. Just shut up.
Just shut up. Yeah, just let.
Don't talk to me. I won't talk to you.
Shut up. It's like.
It's like that's the perfect setup for like in a story. Like if this was like a scripted story, Judd would definitely be voted out there because it's a perfect setup for like.
It is. For them to just turn on him.
Like he was so happy the whole episode. He was like, "Oh, I'm happy because I'm not going anywhere." You know, it's like the perfect setup. I'm not going anywhere. They need me, and I'm gonna get rid of Margaret. That's it. So that would have been the perfect Shakespearean betrayal there.
Mm.
Who would you give your MVP to for the episode?
Oh man, there's so
My
much.
man Judd?
I mean, I think I gotta give it to Judd. Judd just freaking being. I mean,
Poor
that's
Margaret.
like that was one of yeah, Margaret. Yeah, she gets.
Poor Margaret, man.
That was one of the best tribal councils ever. And yeah, wildest I ever. Even though it's wildest tribal ever, Judd flips at Margaret. Yeah, it was like it was seemingly unprompted, too, where it was just kind of like. He just was sort of like, oh yeah, I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up, and then he starts complaining, and then he immediately starts like flipping out at her.
Like the fact, like I think it's justified for her to be upset. Like
yeah,
like you were the one that flipped on her. Like you can't, you don't have the right to like get angry at her for being upset about you flipping as if you didn't flip. Yeah. You did flip, but now he's like, oh, you would have done the same thing. She's like, but I didn't though.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, well, she. I think he was more pissed off that she was so fixated and bent out of shape on it, rather than just like doing something about it. She just sort of moped.
But if you're making that move, if you're the one flipping, then you have to accept that people will have that response as a natural response to have.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what goes on in that guy's brain, obviously, because like the rant. I don't even know what he was talking about half the time. Like he was just like. It was just like,
it was
bro,
so much.
Chill
I've never
out.
seen any trouble like that at all.
It was so much over like almost nothing. like it was almost about nothing.
Yeah, and then we had the whole drama back at camp with the whole beer thing too, where he probably took an extra beer, but he was like, I don't care, I think I deserve it.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have these hot dogs if it weren't for me.
So
there was just a lot. There was a lot of good stuff in this episode. It was
Oh yeah. So like, yeah, don't get me wrong. That Nakum side was great, but Yasha had plenty of stuff going on. Yeah, we had all the weird Bobby John situation going on there. So
much more tame in comparison, but
much more tame in comparison. Amy kind of doing her best to keep moving along, despite the fact she keeps getting injured.
It was interesting. I mean, when they started talking up Brian, I had a feeling like, oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
they're setting up for Brian to go here, but
especially because it was kind of weird because like they hadn't really offered too much. They were like, let's get rid of Bobby John. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a good play right now. That just doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, I think I get it in terms of like if you're like trying to straight chess it, but the 3D chess move would not be to go after Bobby John. It'd be go after someone like Gary or.
Well, Brian wanted to keep them together though. They obviously.
I know he did, but like I don't know if that was
he's the only one who voted for Bobby John.
Yeah, it wasn't the 3D chess move that he seemed to think it was. So.
Yeah, the problem is like we saw him present that idea, but then we never saw him make any headway on it. Like he was just like told Gary. It's like we'll try to get them on our side, but we never saw him actually working anybody on it.
Yeah.
So it was probably a foregone conclusion that it was going to be him or Amy anyway.
Like I'm surprised it wasn't for like Brandon, the one guy that they didn't like let know about the switch. Like they
Yeah,
switched
but
and
Bobby
voted
John
Blake
probably
out, but-
would have been very adamant against that. Like,
Yeah, because he's like, yeah.
I did one betrayal. All right, that's all you're gonna get out of me. All right, he's
Yeah,
my
that
country
one
boy. He's my
That's
country
right.
brother.
That's right. He's my brother. So,
All right, well, that's it. I'm gonna come back next week for more Survivor Guatemala, baby.
okay. Sounds like a plan.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit all the links in the description for our feedback and our social media. What video would you recommend our viewers watch next?
You should go check out our. Let's see if I have any other starred episodes here for season 10.
How far back does that notebook go?
Get my freaking star. I have all the other ones in another notebook.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a starred. I don't know if I starred an episode last season.
I want to see if you have any starred Survivor Thailand episodes. That's what I wanted to see.
I think I patented my Survivor Star episodes in
Amazon?
No, not Amazon. In
Pearl Islands.
it might have been Pearl Islands. Maybe it could have been Amazon.
I want a Star or an Amazon episode. Yeah, one of those. We need to get like Tarqaron notebooks. It'd be nice.
Well, I hope I still have. I might have torn a lot of those pages out.
How
I hope I didn't.
dare you?
I know. I can't believe it either.
Or what's the earliest star that you can find?
7-6. Episode 6 of
Pearl Islands.
Pearl Islands. Rupert was not a fan of tribal council. Balboa the snake died. Pete the pelican
Pete the Pelican was
joined Morgan.
harassing Austin.
Yeah, Austin was scared of the bird. John flipped out at Sean for lazing. Sandra respects it. Cannon firing at targets. Drake wins. Surf and turf, grilling utensils and spices. John is straight up and stealing the pot. We threw that one. Oh yeah. He was straight up. He was like, yeah, we threw that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. When he went over
Yeah, when he
to
went
steal
over.
one of the things.
That was a great episode. Spicy takes at tribal council. That's what I say at the end.
That
That was a great episode.
Episode 6 of Pearl Islands, and a great
remember that
season.
one.
And a
It
great
was
season.
phenomenal season.
Good
I got my
times.
very first Survivor star.
That's why that was like so long ago now.
I know. That's crazy. Crazy to think about.
4 seasons ago. Check that out. Come on, guys. Everybody. There's Survivor every week here. Come on.
Come on now.
Come on, you're an idiot.
Yeah, come on now. Come on now. You better get. Come on.
All right.
See
Take care now.
ya.